Hey guys, so I've posted a lot of videos about healthy things for your body and tips and tricks for dieting and staying on a healthy lifestyle. But as you know, or a lot of you know, my book is also about how to have a healthier mental state, how to think healthier. So I wanted to do a video about that today. One of my favorite things that I write about in my book is how I kind of changed my self-esteem and my self-talk. It's always going to be a challenge for me. It does not come natural to me at all. I come from a family of women who don't have a lot of self esteem, and because nobody ever taught the generation before, it's very hard for them to teach the generation after how to be, like self talk and self motivate and so trying to break that cycle was very, very hard for me. And thankfully, I met a couple of people, a couple of strong women who taught me, or I shadowed them a little bit without them even knowing, and kind of taught me how they do it. Along with just getting back into church, Pastor Stephen, I go to Elevation. I heard a couple of sermons about it. And my struggle was always, I know that I need to love myself. I know that I need to love who I am, but nobody ever tells you how to do it or where to start. So I wanted to share with you what kind of worked for me. And I think the biggest place to start is that thing in your head that tells you negative all the time. I used to just, whatever my thoughts would tell me, I would go along with it because I'm thinking, well, it's me telling me that I'm not good enough. So I'm not going to sit here and argue with myself. Like, that just sounds crazy. But in retrospect, it sounds crazy to just go with whatever thought pops in your head. Like, if you think about it, if you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, I just feel like crap today, then you have a crappy day. But I started doing this thing called challenging your thoughts. And when I first heard that, I'm like, well, what the hell does that mean? Challenge my thoughts. Like, sit there and have an argument with yourself in your head. And it kind of is. I mean, it sounds crazy, but you have to learn to not, whatever thought pops in your head, just say, well, I thought that, it must be true. You have to break down. So say the thought that pops in your head is, people don't like me. So originally I would be like, yeah, that's true. People don't like me, and kind of bring up things that support times when a person didn't like me. But I started breaking it down the other way and saying, well, that's not true. I remember the other day at the grocery store, this lady sparked a conversation with me, and we had a really great conversation. Or I'll say, I remember that time at work that girl who never really talked to anybody, I go on walks with her at lunch now, or and just break down your thoughts. And that's what challenging your thoughts is. It's waking up in the morning and feeling like, oh, it's going to be one of those days, and saying, well, wait, no, it's not. It doesn't have to be one of those days. It's going to be a great day because I'm going to go stop at Dunkin' Donuts and get my favorite coffee. And it's going to be a great day because I only have one meeting. And challenging your thoughts. And I think if you can focus on that, and taking baby steps to just break down one negative thought at a time, you'll eventually see, after weeks and months go by, you're a way more positive person. And it's overwhelming to think about, oh, I have to have self-love and self-worth. It's overwhelming to think about doing it all in one day. But when you break it down one thought at a time, and start recognizing when you're doing it, I'm thinking one of these negative thoughts. Okay, let me sit down. For me, sometimes if it's repetitive enough, if I get this negative thought in my head enough, I'll write it down. And I talk about this in my book. Write down that negative thought and make a list under it. Challenge yourself to come up with 5 reasons why that's not true. And then just keep adding to it. I mean, it might be hard at first to get those first 1 or 5 things out. But once you get the hang of it, you'll get yourself in the routine of challenging your thoughts and not just going along with the negative things that come in your mind. And I guarantee you that if you do this and try this, you'll see so much difference in yourself. You'll see your stress levels going down. You'll sleep better at night. I mean, it's just done so many things for me. And it's even contagious because when somebody else vents to you, you start saying, well, wait a minute, that's not true. I remember all the times that you were successful. And it's just a really, really great exercise for you to do, and in a really great way for you to improve your mental health as well.